Hello there, I'm Muhammed, Ahmad, Hamdan, and this is Nightline, the headlines. Malaysia's balanced foreign policy helps to stay clear of provocations. And suspected cronyism, senior political leader in northern state under probe. Good morning. We begin with this headlining story. Malaysia adopts a balanced foreign policy approach between the East and the West and stays clear of any sort of position that is deemed provocative. Speaking at the Special World Economic Forum, WEF, opening plenary session, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim shared Putrajaya's policy that has successfully built strong ties with the world's economic powers, such as the United States and China, without compromising the nation's interests.
Anwar said Putrajaya's engagements with the US and Europe have been going well, and at the same time it maintains excellent bilateral ties with China, South Korea and Japan.
How do we navigate it? By just saying, look, we welcome investments based on our rules and don't dictate and impose any conditions. We will not, for example, enter into any sort of a decision that is deemed to be provocative against one another. And I think so far we have managed, not easy, as a small emerging economy, we have to navigate very wisely.
Anwar also stressed the importance of engaging more extensively with African, Latin American and Middle Eastern nations. He noted that major economies often impose their terms and display their superiority, stating that Malaysia cannot do it alone and needs to engage with others. He added that within ASEAN, despite some minor differences on foreign policy issues, the focus, engagement and bilateral relationships between the member countries are excellent, posing no issues in working together as a team. On geopolitical issues, Anwar said, despite the complex situation affecting the Middle East, particularly the anger and frustration over the Gaza crisis, the economies of Muslim countries should not be affected.
The issue is important, it's fundamental to us, but at the same time, we have to survive. The economy has to be strong. The fundamentals have got to be built. So Malaysia is again fortunate in a region that is possibly most peaceful in the world, and the fastest growing economy.
The Prime Minister commended Saudi Arabia for hosting the meeting and urged the kingdom to continue playing a role in engaging with developing and emerging economies, especially those within the Muslim community. Themed Global Collaboration, Growth and Energy for Development, the two-day meeting convenes more than 1,000 global leaders from 92 countries, as well as thought leaders from public and private sectors, international organizations, academic institutions and NGOs. On the sidelines of the WEF special meeting, Anwar held a bilateral meeting with President Paul Kagame of Rwanda. The 30-minute meeting discussed bilateral trade, among other things, with both countries encouraging increased trade in the halal industry and palm oil sector. The two leaders also discussed new areas of cooperation to be explored between Malaysia and Rwanda, including disaster risk management, urban planning and digitalization, tourism, human resource capacity development and the halal industry. During their meeting, Anwar invited Kagame for an official visit to Malaysia, and Kagame reciprocated by extending an invitation to the Prime Minister to make an official visit to Rwanda. Meanwhile, during his meeting with Jordanian counterpart Bishr Hani Al-Kassaoune, Anwar emphasized the crucial need to support Palestinian state recognition at the United Nations. In the 20-minute meeting that began at 2:05 p.m. local time, Anwar also underscored the need to hold Israel accountable for its atrocities in Palestine. He also expressed Malaysia's gratitude to Jordan for its crucial role in providing humanitarian aid to the Palestinian people. Later, the Prime Minister also held discussions with the chairman and senior management of French oil and gas company Total Energies.
The Energy Transition and Water Transformation Ministry has approved 46 water-related projects in Sarawak under the 12th Malaysia Plan 12MP, costing some 6 billion ringgit. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Fadilah Yusof said these involve 33 extension projects and 13 new projects.
Projek-projek diluluskan ini merangkumi pelindungan banjir dan banjir pantai, hakisan pantai, pemulihan muara, kajian pelan pengurusan lembangan sungai bersepadu ataupun Integrated River Basin Management, penggunaan loji rawatan kumbahan, loji rawatan enap cemar, pembangunan sistem pembentungan dan naik taraf loji rawatan air.
He said this when speaking at the launching of the national-level World Water Day celebration in Sarawak on Sunday. Fadila, who is also the Energy Transition and Water Transformation Minister, said the completion of all the projects would address water-related issues, whilst also improving delivery of water supply and sewerage services in the state. The federal government, he said, is confident that the projects would bring positive impact to the people of Sarawak. Moving on, the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, is probing a senior political leader in a northern state over suspicion of appointing companies tied to him for supply projects amounting to 300,000 ringgit. Sources claim that the individual is also being probed for appointing a number of companies for roadworks and maintenance using 1 million ringgit in funds from the Menteri Besar's office.
The companies claimed the source was linked to the individual's son. The source claimed that the projects were monopolised by the individual's son, using licences of companies under his purview. The offences were allegedly committed between January 2023 until last March. The companies in question were suspected of using documents with falsified information for the works and received commissions of around 5% of the project's value. To date, 15 companies have been identified as being under the purview of the individual's son. These projects include the supply of mineral water as well as hampers and souvenirs. Meanwhile, MACC Special Operations Division Senior Director Dato' Azmi Kamaruzaman, when contacted, confirmed the investigation. It is understood that the individual is expected to be called up soon.
The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, has sent a request for the latest information from the German authorities regarding the seizure of 4 Bugatti Veyron sports cars allegedly linked to the One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB scandal.
MACC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azambaki said the graft buster on October 26, 2022 had requested information from the German authorities regarding 1MDB bond funds that were allegedly used to purchase luxury cars in the country. He also confirmed that it has initiated investigations into the issue since 2020. He added a mutual legal assistance request to Switzerland to obtain frozen assets linked to 1MDB commenced in November 2020. This was followed by meetings with the Office of the Attorney General of Switzerland regarding 50 luxury cars involved in the 1MDB investigation in 2021.
The Kelantan Customs Department has seized a staggering 2.62 million sticks of smuggled cigarettes with an estimated value exceeding 2.23 million ringgit last Wednesday. Its director, Wan Jamal Abdul Salam Wan Long, said the first raid was carried out along the riverbank in Kampung Pasir Pekan at 8:10 p.m. resulting in the seizure of 93 boxes containing 1.72 million cigarettes stored in a lorry.
In the second raid at 9:30 p.m, conducted 3 kilometres from the initial location, saw a seizure of an additional 90 boxes of smuggled cigarettes totalling over 900,000 sticks.
Kedua-dua rampasan tersebut berjumlah 2,260,000 batang rokok pelbagai jenama dan jenis dianggarkan bernilai RM556,400 berdasarkan kepada harga pasaran semasa yang melibatkan jumlah cukai yang terlibat sebanyak RM1,772,240. Siasatan masih diteruskan bagi mengesan pemilik lori.
The modus operandi of the syndicate involved importing the contraband goods to the Malaysia-Thailand border. Utilising smuggling services, the cigarettes were transported in stages via the Golok River. The smuggled cigarettes were then stockpiled and concealed in a single location before being distributed into the market. The case is being investigated under the Customs Act.
Malaysia is a country rich in cultural diversity, with a tapestry of traditions and customs that reflect the blend of its multi-ethnic society. One of the most captivating aspects of Malaysian culture is its traditional dance forms, such as Makyong, Chinese opera, Bharatanatyam and Ngajat, which offer a glimpse into the heritage and history of the Malaysian people. However, some believe that there is a lack of concerted effort in preserving the diversity of traditional dances in Malaysia. In conjunction with the International Dance Day, Aislin Zahari files this report.
MACC is the only Malaysian traditional performing arts recognised by UNESCO in 2005 as a masterpiece of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity. Unfortunately, urbanisation leads to the neglect of traditional dance forms as young generation nowadays prioritizes other pursuits and forms of entertainment. Thus, a local dance artist from Ronggeng Entertainment, Muhammed Kuswadinata, opined that Malaysian students should be introduced to traditional dance since elementary school in order to foster younger generations' interest in culture and arts.
Kita perlu terapkan daripada sekolah lagi. So maknanya pihak-pihak sekolah ataupun cikgu perlu mengadakan aktiviti ataupun satu subjek khas yang menaikkan lagi tarian tradisional. Dengan adanya langkah-langkah ataupun daripada pihak sekolah itu sendiri untuk adakan lagi aktiviti-aktiviti macam ni, kita memperkenalkan makyung, kita memperkenalkan tarian-tarian lain di peringkat sekolah lagi. So maknanya dari situ orang ramai ataupun anak-anak tu sendiri boleh tahu makyung tu macam mana, tarian asyik tu macam mana, and then tarian banyak lagi tarian tradisional dekat Malaysia ni yang kita boleh perkenalkan lagi kepada anak-anak. Kita tengok K-pop ataupun tarian-tarian moden, tarian barat ni dah minda anak-anak dan remaja, sampaikan diorang boleh fikir yang tarian tradisional ni adalah tarian yang kolot ataupun tarian yang agak lama. Pihak kerajaan mungkin boleh banyakkan lagi atau lampakkan lagi program-program yang seperti ini. Kita dapat memperkenalkan lagi tarian-tarian yang ada kepada masyarakat.
Responding on suggestions that youth and children should be exposed to traditional dances at early age, My Creative Ventures Group CEO Zainaria Johari also agreed on the importance of creative education for this age group.
I think creative education is really important. Hands-on experience, getting to be a part of a class, for example, or a bigger production that involves this kind of discipline. My Creative Venture has supported Tunas Tari brought by Pusat Kreatif Kanak-Kanak Tuanku Bainon, whereby we have about 50 children experiencing this and being a part of the whole traditional dance. So I think there should be more experiential, hands-on opportunity for youth and children, so that, as they say in BM, tak kenal maka tak cinta.
Zainaria also highlighted some of My Creative Ventures' efforts in assisting traditional dance active players, including providing workshop and trainings. She also emphasized the efforts of the government in highlighting the cultural arts, citing the Malaysia International Carnatic Music Festival held in 2023 as an example.
One thing I'd like to highlight is the Sugam Foundation, Heritage Foundation, that received 300 entries from all over the world, and it is the second largest Malaysia International Carnatic World Music Festival. It provided an array of performances and also to be able to portray Malaysia as the place to come to when it comes to heritage and performing arts.
In the preservation and propagation of traditional dance, no person or organisation can take on the responsibility by themselves. The task is too mammoth, and the saying goes, it takes a village. It complements the efforts of the government bodies, organisations as well as higher education institutions. Thus, it is hoped that Malaysian traditional dance will be embraced, recognised and appreciated by all, gaining a foothold in contemporary society. Happy International Dance Day. Aislin Zahari for Nightline TV3.
Hezbollah joins attacks against Israel. News from the foreign front when we return.
Geng di Lembah Kelang, jomlah beraya di Karnival Jom Heboh edisi Raya Babas di Putrajaya untuk aneka keriangan bersama keluarga. Temui selebriti studio tonton drama sangat seperti Era Fazira, Radin Zaharatul dan Lan Solo, personaliti media prima dan maskot kami. Juga saksikan dan sertai aktiviti menarik, pesta makanan, hiburan dan hadiah percuma untuk semua sepanjang hari. Temui anda semua 3 hingga 5 Mei ini di tapak parkir Presin 3 Putrajaya mulai jam 9 pagi. Jom, jom, jom!
Aku dah tanang kau.
Kalau boleh ulang balik, Mira follow dia, benda ni tak menjadilah.
Kalau saya tak boleh memiliki, orang lain pun takkan boleh memiliki dia.
Syafiqah Ahmad Ismail maut akibat ditikam bekas tunangnya di tempat letak kereta sebuah pasaraya di Keluang.
Dalam kehidupan, tidak boleh berlebih. Dalam sayang, tidak boleh terlalu berlebihan.
और जब याद ही नहीं तो काहे की शादी?
हम आपकी पहली पत्नी हैं।
उस पारो ने हमारी मर्दानगी को ललकारा है।
जानती है क्यों? क्योंकि कूड़े की असली जगह कूड़े के साथ ही होती है।
बिना शादी के ये सब सही नहीं लग रहा।
आपके प्यार के लिए क्या कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं।
Ishq Dastan Nagmane Isnin hingga Kamis 4 petang di Sonia TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
We're back with news from the foreign front. Lebanon's Iran-backed Hezbollah movement said on Saturday it had targeted Manara in northern Israel with drones and guided missiles after cross-border Israeli strikes killed 3 people, including 2 of its members. In a statement, the group said it launched a complex attack using explosive drones and guided missiles on the headquarters of the Israel's military command. Hezbollah also said it had launched dozens of rockets at the Israeli military base at Meron in northern Israel. The attack was in reprisal for Israeli attacks on civilian homes at several places in southern Lebanon, including Kfar Kila and Srebin. Hezbollah has intensified its targeting of military sites in Israel since tensions soared between Israel and Iran over the bombing of Tehran's Damascus consulate on April 1st. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas on Sunday has pleaded to the United States to help stop Israel's planned invasion of Rafah, as the Zionist regime has killed 66 people in the past 24 hours. Abbas noted that a small strike on Rafah would force the Palestinian population to flee the Gaza Strip, adding that the biggest catastrophe in the Palestinians' history would happen. This comes after Israel has agreed to listen to U.S. concerns and thoughts before it launches an invasion of the border city of Rafah in Gaza. Meanwhile, a Hamas delegation will visit Cairo on Monday for talks aimed at securing a ceasefire as mediators stepped up efforts to reach a deal ahead of an Israeli assault on the southern city of Rafah. The officials said the delegation will discuss a ceasefire proposal handed by Hamas to mediators Qatar and Egypt, as well as Israel's response. The Philippines will suspend in-person classes in all public schools for 2 days due to extreme heat and a nationwide strike by jeepney drivers. Usually hot weather has scorched the Southeast Asian country for weeks. Unusually hot weather has scorched the Southeast Asian country for weeks, prompting thousands of schools to switch to remote learning. As most schools in the nation have no air conditioning, students were left sweltering in crowded, poorly ventilated classrooms. The suspension comes after the capital, Manila, recorded its highest ever temperature of 38.8 degrees Celsius, with the heat index reaching 45 degrees Celsius. Meanwhile, jeepney drivers in the country also plan to hold a 3-day nationwide strike starting on Monday to protest the government's plan to phase out the smoke-belching vehicles used by many Filipinos to commute to work and school. second consecutive victory for Malaysia. Sports after this breather.
Gerah tenaga tapi gaji diabaikan.
Gaji tak ada, tak kasih pengias, kita makan pengias saja. Nasi dengan macam telur biasa.
Eksploitasi pekerja asing, majikan terima padah.
Sebagai pekerja memang tak boleh. Ini tak betul tau.
Saksikan 999 Selasa jam 9 malam di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
You harapkan dia lagi kan?
You jangan melampau Farah.
You nak dekat dia lagi kan?
You jangan melampau!
Kau tinggalkan aku kebencian. Kebencian di mana aku sampai tak boleh buka hati aku dekat mana-mana lelaki pun.
Macam mana dengan Luqman? Bila abang memilih Adini Zahira, cukup sayang sebagai pelengkap dalam hidup abang. Abang rasa bersyukur sangat sayang. Betul Dini nak berkahwin dengan Luqman?
Kalau ya kenapa?
Abang tak benarkan.
Awak siapa? Wali saya ke?
Wanita Syurga, Minggu akhir 7 malam di Akasia TV3.
And sports now, badminton, the 2024 Thomas Cup. The national squad are through to the quarter-final after outplaying Algeria 5-0 in the second match of Group D tie on Sunday.
Men's singles shuttler Lee Zijia gave an astounding show to put the team in the lead by beating Adil Hamad 21-8, 21-6 in just 26 minutes. Malaysia doubled the lead when second singles world number 63 Chiam Jun Wei gave his best display after diminishing Yusuf Sabri medal 21-9, 21-14 in a 21-minute match. National men's doubles Muhammad Haikal Nazri and Chung Hun Jian made it 3-0 as they needed only 17 minutes to clinch a 21-8, 21-3 victory over Sifedin Larbawi and Muhammad Abdulaziz Ashafun. Justin Ho then went on to beat Muhammad Abdurrahim Belarbi 21-10, 21-14 in the third singles in just 26 minutes before another national men's doubles, So Woo Yik and Nur Izzuddin Rumsani made it another perfect day for Malaysia with the 21-13, 21-9 victory over Kushila Mamiri Yusuf Sabri medal. The national squad will face a tall order next as they will play favourites Denmark on Tuesday.
And still on badminton, the 2024 Uber Cup. The national squad made a disappointing start to their campaign after losing 1-4 to Taiwan in their opening Group B tie on Sunday.
Former world junior champion Goh Jin Wei fought tooth and nail, but it was not enough to overcome former world number 1 Tai Tzu Ying, losing 19-21, 20-22 in the first singles. Malaysia levelled the score through Goh Pei Ki Teo Mei Jing, who upset world number 24 Hu Ya Ching Lin Wan Ching 21-19, 21-17. However, things went downhill for the country as national second singles Kailat Shana succumbed 21-13, 17-21, 16-21 to world number 27 Su Wen Chi in the second singles. In the second doubles, Ho Lo Yi and Tan Jingyi put up a good fight before going down 17-21, 11-21 to Hu Lingfang, Teng Chun Shun. In the third singles, which no longer had any bearing on the tie, Wong Lin Ching lost 17-21, 20-22 to Sung Chuo Yun. Malaysia will play Thailand on Monday before they face Australia in their final group tie on Wednesday.
Illegal online cosmetic sales, Indonesian women nabbed. The details when Nightline returns.
Pembesaran kupang bergantung kepada tempat. Secara purata kupang ni tempoh untuk harvest dia antara sekitar 8 hingga 9 bulan. Dia makan alga ni, plankton ni, dan dia simpan sebahagian tu di dalam badan dia. Kat situlah bagaimana toksik tu berlaku.
Rupa bawang tu, warnanya, saya percaya itu adalah bawang yang mendapat tempat di hati pengguna-pengguna di Malaysia. Kita memerlukan Cik Tan Chen Chua ni atas pengalaman beliau.
Stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Wanita hari ini.
Terus terang salah, berkias salah. Sebab salah dibuatnya. Alah, berbasa-basi sebab nak jaga hati. Susah ke cakap melapik? Nenas banyak khasiatnya. Makan macam tu sedap, buat gulai lagi sedap. Rindulah sukan ikan zaman sekolah dulu. Bestnya bawa bola dalam sudu, lompat dalam guni. Macam-macam. Hidung gatal berair. Lah, awak ada resdung ke? Jom kita tanya doktor. Kata sayang, tak apa asyik barang-barang marah-marah. Fahamlah orang macam ni. Semuanya di Buletin TV3 dan stream ditonton.
Sambil tunggu tetamu seterusnya nak datang beraya, bolehlah layan tonton dekat Smart TV kejap. Nak set up pun senang je. Cari aplikasi Ketonton dan jumpa tu, muat turun dan tekan butang sign in. Nak tekan link boleh atau nak lagi senang, impas je kod QR. Masukkan ID dan password yang telah didaftarkan, okey? So dah boleh layan semua favourite anda di TV. Nanti tak adalah tetamu bosan sangat kan?
Welcome back. The Immigration Department has detained a 50-year-old Indonesian woman suspected of masterminding the online sale of cosmetic and beauty products without approval from the Health Ministry. Director General Datuk Ruslin Jusoh revealed that during a raid in Setapak, Kuala Lumpur and Ampang, Selangor last Thursday, a man and a woman, both Indonesians aged 25 and 35, were also detained for their suspected roles as online promoters for the products.
In a statement on Sunday, Ruslin stated that they also seized various brands of cosmetic and beauty products, 2 Indonesian passports, 3,263 ringgit in cash and 3.3 million Indonesian rupiah. One of the detained women possessed a valid social visit pass, while the other woman had no valid travel documents or passport to be in Malaysia, and the man had overstayed. The syndicate's modus operandi involves illegal importation of cosmetic and beauty products, which are then sold to customers online through agents at a price of 159 ringgit. Operating for 6 months, the syndicate utilizes social media to promote their products. All the foreigners detained had committed offences under the Immigration Act, Passport Act and Immigration Regulations. They are currently being held at the Semenyih Immigration Depot, Selangor, for investigation under the Control of Drugs and Cosmetics Regulations.
In Malaysia's booming beauty and personal care industry, consumers are spoiled for choice with a diverse array of cosmetics products, both from imported and homegrown brands. However, beyond the allure of luxury and trending beauty products lies a darker reality: the proliferation of cheap and counterfeit cosmetics, which can be harmful to consumers. Our reporter, Alif Yunus, has the story.
The beauty and personal care industry in Malaysia generates revenue projected at over $2 billion a year, positioning the country as one of the largest markets in the Asia-Pacific region. This thriving industry provides ample opportunity for many sellers and businesses to cash in, often by leveraging social media and influencer marketing campaigns to reach their targeted audience. However, the fast-growing but poorly regulated industry is putting consumers' health at risk due to toxic cosmetics that are being sold, typically with bogus and misleading claims about their efficacy. Some telltale signs include suspiciously low prices compared to store-bought products and inconsistencies in texture and quality.
I've seen some counterfeit products being sold online on those popular e-commerce sites, usually like foreign brands like Korean cosmetics and European cosmetics, but I avoided buying them because the price was suspiciously low compared to the original price if you buy from the original retailer.
For me, yes, because last time I have bought the serum from the online platform, and then the texture is different from the original one. So initially I don't know, but after I apply on my skin, and it happened like I have pimples appear. So and my sister also have buy the similar products, and then I compare the counterfeit and the original, and I realized that actually that one is not the authentic product.
One thing I do is to exercise caution and go to legitimate pharmacy shops, and I also shop for products from brands that are more known, so which is one way for me to avoid those counterfeit type of products.
Dr. Brian Teo, a cosmetic science expert, highlighted that many counterfeit beauty products lack thorough research and may contain hazardous substances or banned ingredients, including heavy metals such as mercury, lead and arsenic. Exposure to such harmful compounds could lead to skin irritations, infections, and even severe kidney damage, and in some extreme cases, death.
These products are usually being manufactured in a non-GMP certified factory, which means they do not have a good manufacturing practices. They may be produced in an unsanitized factory where they do not have a proper hygiene, where they will have bacterial infestation, and some of these counterfeit products may also contain not as effective as what they have claimed, because they are not registered products. So yeah, they may claim that it has moisturizing effect, but maybe they have not included any of these active ingredients into it as well.
Meanwhile, Dr. Chloe Chin, a pharmaceutical science lecturer, emphasised that academia can play a more crucial role in addressing the prevalence of substandard and fake beauty products that can be potentially dangerous to consumers. This includes collaborative research efforts with stakeholders, as well as developing local talents to ensure rigorous industry standards are adhered to in the cosmetic sector.
Because right now we don't have the solid data about it, how actually prevalent of this product in the e-commerce platform or anything. Right now we want to do a survey about it, and then we have a concrete solid data to talk about how big, how serious the issue in local or globally, because this is not a local issue, it's a really global issue. So that's why we can actually capture all this data, and then we can actually strategize what kind of the methods or maybe a research plan or technology try to counterfeit, try to solve these counterfeit products, how to identify better. Or maybe we can actually develop anti-counterfeit technologies.
She also said it is essential for consumers to prioritize making informed choices when buying beauty products and being able to distinguish authentic ones from counterfeits. By investing in education, fostering collaboration and empowering consumers, stakeholders can work together to safeguard both public health and the integrity of the cosmetics market. Alif Yunus, Nightline, TV3.
Right, before we conclude this edition of Nightline, let's take a look at the Aidil Fitri Open House organised by the Persiaran Mahogany Neighbourhood Association in collaboration with Damansara Parliament Constituency and Bukit Lanjan State Constituency. The event saw the attendance of more than 200 people, including Digital Minister Gobind Singh Dio, who is also the Damansara MP. With that, I'm Muhammed Ahmad Hamdan. Thanks for tuning in and be safe, Malaysia.